one of the really key components of success for us has been having a really good understanding of what the requirements are when you go and you look at what NASBA requires for us to even offer that continuing ed credit. Do they have specific materials? They absolutely do that we have to provide when we're applying for credit, such as an agenda, such as marketing communications, a registration page that's got the fine print, the important fine print that lays out, what the event is actually about. It lays out what the requirements for engagement from our audience members is going to look like, whether that's polling, or other elements of engagement, maybe a quiz, et cetera. We have to identify the delivery method. And for us at Protiviti, when we go to market and we are offering CPE credit for our audiences, it has to be a live session. That's not to say we don't have great on-demand content and leverage it in other ways, which I'll mention later on in our discussion. But for us, it is a requirement. So just having a good understanding, a good foundation of what you need to meet the criteria to even offer a continuing ed credit, content session, what have you, to your audience is really going to set you up for success.
This is the first key lesson for everyone. This is the first takeaway in your guide to running successful certification webinars. It is to understand who at your organization is going to partner with that governing body and how those requirements will be shared with you, or if you've got to do it yourself, because it's not as simple as just deciding, hey, we're going to run a webinar and issue credits. No, it needs to meet a standard that is set by that third party. So, Michelle, I'd love for you to give a breakdown of how CLE at Shipman works, and what are some of the key aspects that someone who's looking to run CLE needs to keep in mind.
Sure. So CLE is very closely aligned with CPE in the same way that Nicole mentioned in terms of process. It just has a lot more legs, so to speak, lots of complexities, just by nature, given the stringent requirements put in place by the accrediting body. So I want to echo Nicole on process, and more process, because like I said, when you have so many moving parts, it's very easy and you're able to quickly make a mistake. Um, and that's something that you really want to avoid, especially when it comes to CLE. It's very important for the attorneys to complete it, obviously for their license, but also for the fact that we, as the issuing organization, we want to remain reputable and not make errors if possible. It's very important to maintain accurate reporting. If you're somewhat familiar with the requirements, there are retention requirements as well. That's not to say, mistakes don't happen. We're all human. But if you're making sure that your process is buttoned up, that's